Anubis is quickly becoming one of the most popular maps in Counter-Strike 2, and with its popularity, many players have voiced their concerns over how T-sided the map feels. Statistically, Anubis is very T-sided and competitive as well as pro play. However, as the map has developed, many teams have found different ways to win more rounds on the CT side. And today, I'll be showing you just how these teams win more rounds on the CT side of Anubis in the current meta. So to start, we're going to go ahead and show this basic start from Bit, where he's going to start with a flash off the wall, which actually baits out an op shot from his opponent, and then he's going to follow this up with an A main smoke. He's actually already gained a lot of information off that one flash, and the smoke's going to block A main control for a little bit. He's then going to move up close with his Molotov and play to block any T's that try to break into A main through the smoke. After he's played up close for a little bit, he's going to fall back to the fountain when AlexiB comes over and rotates, and as Floppy mollies baskets and gets a couple of flashes to take A main control, Bit's actually going to counter molly him, leaving Floppy nowhere to go but to retreat. AlexiB is then going to smoke A main, and now they've been able to control A main for over 55 seconds in this round. What's great about this is it allows you to quick flank like this. Unfortunately, Bit got unlucky this round. In this round, we're going to see another basic start from Robs. He's going to start with a pre-molly outside of A main. That's going to actually act as an early warning system for any sort of rush or A main take. He's then going to follow that up with a nade onto the stairs area, which can deal a lot of damage. After that, he's going to fall back and play kind of passive toward heaven with his AUG. And if they were to execute A, it's pretty likely that they peek before the heaven smoke actually fully blooms. And in this situation, he would actually get a free kill. Now, it's important to understand that even if you play retake A, you should actually look to go re-clear A main if you know that you actually lost it and nothing else is happening around the map. Here you're going to see Rob Smalley in and get a flash from Frozen before getting traded by a Liege. Now this could have actually been way better if after Frozen flash he dropped down and kind of moved toward A main as well, but I bet they weren't expecting Liege to come through. Now every anchor needs to have a couple really aggressive plays up their sleeves to allow themselves some more room on their bomb site. If your opponents start to respect the fact that you're playing kind of passive and more reserved, you're going to be able to get away with these plays a lot easier. Here Rob's is going to throw an A main smoke and he's going to jump up on top of this box outside of A main, and he's going to fade the smoke. He's actually going to find 2 kills onto Hooksy and Nexa before retreating into A main. Now Robs gets 2 in this situation, and you might not always, but it's still a very nice play and you could easily find 1. In this round, we're going to see a pretty basic start from Electronic. He's going to start with a molly mid, and then he's going to listen close mid. And you're actually going to notice that he hears people running on canal. That's really important. A lot of mid players are starting close to listen for that information. And now he's just going to drop a smoke in mid to continue blocking mid. Now, it's important to note that while we watch Liege, Electronic, and Nico in this video, none of them actually hang on to mid too long because it's pretty difficult to fight mid in the current meta. Most of them are going to act as a quick rotate toward A or B, depending on what their opponents are doing in the round. Here we're going to see another basic start, and this one's going to be from Nico. He's going to throw an early round HE to do any sort of damage. He's going to listen for anybody canal, and then he's actually going to throw a flashbang that would blind anybody on the stairs for his E-box teammate to get some info. After that, he's going to fall back and play from camera with his smoke and his molly, as well as an additional flash. Now notice in this round, he didn't use any utility. This time he's going to use all of his util set to block mid when they take a late progression. He's going to molly, smoke, and follow with a flash, which actually blinds a couple of the players, so they respect him in mid. After that, Nico's going to fall back toward A, where he's going to posture with his other teammate who's close on the fountain. And actually, one of his teammates does rotate to B here, as they think it might be B, but regardless, being close aiming like this is really beneficial as you can flank. Now, I did want to show one pretty common play that both Nico, Elige, and many other mid players are making at the moment in the current meta, and that's going to be this little headshot angle here. Basically, if you look at Elige's crosshair, he's going to line up with the box and make sure that he isn't spottable, and you're going to notice that he actually can't get spotted from the mid window nor a double door. He's going to look for a peek on timing, but he actually does not win the fights. Now, I wanted to show a cool play off of this headshot angle that I was talking about here, that both Elige and Nico were playing, and I saw this in a demo and I couldn't remember exactly what game I saw this from, but essentially what happened was the team had their opper playing toward A like this, and he was posted up on A main like so. This allowed for the actual A player to jiggle peek like this, spotting for any sort of mid progression. Once the player playing at that headshot angle in mid actually thought that they were progressing, this player who was jiggling right here just threw a flash off the wall, and off of that flash, this player peeked up and ended up killing like 2 people in mid before actually getting away. I thought that was a pretty unique little play, and I think it could be something that a lot of teams could add to their playbook and find a lot of success with. But before we get into the rest of the video, let's have a quick word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is Clash GG. Clash GG is a Counter-Strike 2 gamble website with a variety of different games. My favorite game is Case Battles, which you can play with your friends in an effort to win your favorite skins. Clash has a bunch of different deposit methods, such as Counter-Strike 2 skins, credit card, PayPal, or crypto. Clash also gives a bunch of bonuses such as Rakeback, daily cases, and rain. And the best part is, you can use code STAMINA to apply a 5% deposit bonus. So head over to Clash GG today. So it's extremely important right now to deny E-Box control, and Yekindar is going to start out the round just jiggling E-Box, ready to Molotov E-Box whenever he meets contact with somebody else. After this, he's going to throw his HE to do a little bit of damage, and he's going to follow it with a flash just to ward them back a little bit more. Now, while this is happening, Twist from mid is actually going to be throwing a smoke that lands on the outside of E-Box after he's thrown an earlier on Molotov. Remember, as the mid player, your job is more to help the A and the B bomb site, depending on what's going on around the map. Now, as Yekindar is doing his thing toward E-Box, Kadeen is posted on B main, and he's ready for any sort of peek there. And after the first E-Box smoke, he's actually going to swap with Yekindar, and he's going to play for E-Box with his op, while Yekindar plays close B main with his smoke, ready to drop it if he makes contact. While this is happening, Naf is holding a counter flash in case Kadeen gets flashed off, and then he ends up holding a defensive flash for B main until he rotates off of B once there's a lot of noise toward A or mid. His job is to be the rotator. Now, there are so many cool ways that you can set up at the B bomb site, but that was just one of them. Another way that you can set up at the B bomb site is pretty similar, but you're going to have your one player playing toward E-Box, and he's looking to deny E-Box as long as possible. And while that's happening, you're going to have another teammate play dark with this flash ready in case anybody makes any contact B main. Now, of course, you're not jiggling it, but many people aren't going to peek it just dry unless you're playing in a plug environment. And typically, there's going to be a lot of different audio cues that will let you know when to flash, such as a molly B main, smokes onto the bomb site, etc. And once you throw this flash, it's going to go ahead and pop over top of the roof here, blinding anybody that peeks from B main. Alternatively, many players will jump spot the back of B bomb site like this to give themselves any opportunity to spot anybody peeking into B. And if you do spot anybody peeking into B, you could throw a defensive flash like this, which will blind anybody peeking out of B main, and you could peek with it. Now, one thing that's important to note is that you want to kind of sync up the A and the B bomb site. If your A teammates are playing for A main, it's actually pretty good if you save one Molotov for the end of the round. So that way, if the T's start coming through on a B split, you can molly them off E-Box and fight B main with your teammate who's playing around dark, while it gives time for your teammates from A to actually flank through canal and help you win the round. Now, another important aspect of Anubis is going for pick plays, and Complexity has this really nice pick play out of E-Box here. How this round's going to start is JT and Grim are going to start toward E-Box, and JT's going to molly outside of E-Box before breaking the E-Box smoke and swinging with Grim. Now, while this is happening, Halzerk's going to be posting on their B main just to make sure nothing happens over there before flashing and rotating off. And around the time that JT mollies outside of E-Box and breaks the smoke, Floppy's going to Molotov steps and flash outside of A main before smoking A main to block any sort of reaction toward the A bomb site. When JT and Grim are ready, Elijah's going to block mid with a Molotov, and he's going to throw the same Nico flash that we saw earlier to support them on their peek out of E-Box. And after that, he's going to smoke mid to kind of just continuously block them so that they can't react mid. Here you can see what the pick play looks like from the perspective of the T's. They basically have nowhere they can go, and they're blind if they're looking A or toward canal. Now, as I mentioned, these pick plays are extremely important, and one of the other ones that we've been seeing recently is with the A main player going and flashing like this and quickly swinging out of A main for an early kill on anybody playing outside of A main like this. This play is extremely basic, but it's also extremely efficient and has a very high success rate. Now, you do need the best spawn for this, but one of the best parts about this is if any opper is posted like this, going for an early pick, it does kind of counter that play pretty well. Now, while it is a very strong pick, keep in mind that if any T takes the best spawn like this and runs to this position here, not only will they be able to dodge your flash, but you're not going to be able to see them, and they could actually get a free kill onto you. So don't overextend too far and choose when you do this wisely. Anubis is all about info and map control, and if you lose too much map control, you're going to be in a pretty tough spot. If you've played Anubis long enough, you've probably seen A main control nades done something like this, which allow the T's to take control of A main. And one of the ways that A players will counter this is by playing retake early, and when they see this util, they'll throw a smoke like this, followed by a Molotov like this, which will actually allow them to retake control of A main, and sometimes they'll even get a flash from their teammate if they feel like somebody's still in here. Now, in Ancient, there's a pretty common tactic that many teams are using, where teams will play retake A and retake B, and they'll re-clear mid. That's actually been becoming pretty common on Anubis as well. Just blocking A main, blocking B, rotating mid, and just kind of 3 or 4 man re-aggressing. And if you get into this position, it's never really just enough to clear. You also typically want to extend past the double doors and actually look to flank B main or E-Box by dropping here, or potentially even A main if you feel like they could be going there and you missed your timing. Lastly, if you find yourself in a situation where you've used all of your utility toward E-Box and you really can't control it any longer, then if you have 3 people here, it's really good to aggro out of B main. The B main aggro is pretty readable, and also a lot of teams will play for it, but if you do line up a flash like this and throw it for your teammates, this will blind anybody playing on the outside of B main, and you can get a free easy kill if it's one person hanging around. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to check out any of my other videos or check out my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/staminawell, where I do tons of coaching on stream for anybody that asks in chat. Peace out.